Welcome to Toni Unleashed, the podcast, where I unleash the truth about all things pets. My research and anecdotal evidence, paired with expert interviews, will help your pet thrive. I'm here to answer questions, share insights, and spread awareness about what's really going on in the world of pets. I'm Toni Shelaske with 25 years of experience in the pet space. Welcome to the show. Hello, and I am very excited to welcome everyone to Toni Unleashed, and I have Janine Ling with me today. She is owner of Project Sudz, so welcome.
Thank you, Toni.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm thrilled to have you here. First, we're going to talk about how did you get into this making shampoo business?
Okay, so I've been in the pet industry all my life. I own a independent pet store for over 20 years. But it actually started with my own dog, which like most people start things because of their own problems. But my own pit bull mix, Mishka, had really bad environmental allergies. And for the entire time I had the independent pet store, we always focused on food. And I still think food and nutrition is super important. But I felt like on the outside of that, where we go into topicals, nobody paid attention to, right? And I started reading the ingredients and everything on there, and nothing fixed my dog. That's number one, right? I have access to everything and absolutely nothing helped. And then on top of that, it actually made it worse. And I started doing a deep dive into research and what was in these products. And I'm realizing I'm making her skin worse. I'm killing her microbiome on her skin and everything. So I started making my own products to, fix my own dog personally, and that's where everything started.
That's wild. That's wild. You never know where life takes you.
Yeah.
And what's cool is, I've carried your products for quite a few years now, and we've known each other, but I didn't know you started in retail.
Yeah. I still have the pet store. Yeah.
You do?
And before that, yeah.
Where's your store?
In Clark, New Jersey.
Clark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
And before that, I worked at a pet store as a little kid from like 16 until I opened my pet store. And it was like my favorite job. And I remember thinking as a kid, like, if I could do this forever, I'd be happy, So it was always like, just this is what I want to do,
Yeah. Well, you got me beat. I didn't get into the pet industry till I was 32. I think I was 32. So I had my own pet sitting business for 8 years, and then I started the stores when I was like 40. So, yeah.
Like the best industry to be in.
It's the best place to be. I will never leave it, no matter what.
You can't leave. That's it. Once you're in it.
No,
Yeah.
no. I live in Pittsburgh, and something that they say about Pittsburgh is if you ever leave Pittsburgh, you always come back. So I think the pet industry is the same. Anyone that does leave, they end up coming back.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's just such a great network of people. We all collaborate well. Nobody, really competes too much with one another. So it's really a great place to be. So, okay. So you were formulating your own products because of Mishka. What was the absolute first product? Do you remember?
So it was probably our hotspot balm. I started with a topical balm for her. And then I got into the shampoos. The topical balm really helped like all her itchy spots. And then, like I said, I was kind of concerned about the shampoos I was using. Like I said, it was drying out her skin. It was making her skin worse. And for her in particular, if I bathed her once a week with my shampoo, she was perfect. Her skin was absolutely soft, perfect, never had a breakout. But environmental allergies, we can't get rid of, right? If you're allergic to dust, pollen, things like that, you just can't get rid of it. It's in your house, in your life, if they're allergic to grass. So I wanted a shampoo that I could wash her without destroying her skin and moisturizing her skin and, keeping her microbiome healthy and everything while removing the allergies. So that's where it started.
Why don't we talk about, I've talked to so many customers that use ketoconazole, prescribed by the vets, and, that literally has like a small amount of bleach in it, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, but other shampoos that are supposedly all natural. So can you touch on like the phthalates and all?
So chlorhexamine is in it's like a 1% in a lot of shampoos that the vets are really marketing for dogs with skin issues. Like you said, it's a bleach. It's an actual chemical cleaner they use in hospitals to disinfect everything. So when they first use it, it seems like a miracle, right? The first 2 days, you're like, my dog's perfect. Yeah, it killed everything. It killed the fungus. It killed everything. But it also killed the microbiomes in the skin, made the dog drier, more susceptible to other issues. So by the third day, the dog's skin's worse. And absolutely now you have a worse problem than you started with. But like I said, those first 2 days, you thought you had a miracle drug. So people, just keep using it. But like I said, it causes more problems down the line. Like we always talk about microbiomes in their gut and their skin. It's so important to keep that intact. It keeps us safe from other things. And like I said, when you use that bleach or these other things that just kill everything, absolutely makes it worse.
I don't think people realize that the skin has a microbiome.
Yeah, because we talk about it in the gut, right? A lot. It's the same thing in the skin. I think it's like I always, refer. I always talk to people about their diet first because I think it's a combination of both, inside and out. You can't fix one without the other. But we have microbiomes in our gut. We have a microbiome on our skin, and both of them are very important. Important to keep healthy, keep intact.
So instead of chemicals, I think the key ingredient in all of your shampoos is raw apple cider vinegar, right?
Yeah, we use raw apple cider vinegar. I'm a huge fan of apple cider vinegar. It's like this great ingredient that kills fungus, kills bad bacteria, and it doesn't kill good bacteria. It keeps the natural microbiome in the skin. It keeps everybody safe. It's like that miracle, natural thing that's so simple that it just works great. And we use the organic apple cider vinegar with the mother, so it has like natural probiotics in it. It's just, like I said, it's just this great ingredient, and it's so funny because it's something that, like, I feel like, it's more common internally, but externally it works just the same and it works great. And then
Absolutely.
when one of the biggest questions is, because it is the main ingredient in all our shampoo products, is does it smell like vinegar? Because obviously, we don't like the smell of vinegar. We saponify all our oils in the vinegar, and that actually cooks it. When we make shampoo, it heats up over 200 something degrees, so it actually cooks that vinegar. It gets rid of that vinegar smell. It almost smells like, to me, like a appley cookie smell. So you don't have the vinegar smell, but you have all the benefits of it still.
Okay. That's something I totally didn't know. I didn't realize that we actually cooked shampoo.
So yeah, so we make our own shampoo from scratch. So when we make shampoo, we take the oils, and then we take our apple cider vinegar. We put our lye base in the apple cider vinegar, and we put it all together. It heats up to, like I said, over 200 degrees. It goes into tubes where it forms a shape. Then those tubes are taken out, cut, dried for about a week, and then boxed. And that's the shampoo. That's the bar shampoo version of it. When you make the shampoo, like I said, we're making it with lye from scratch. When it's completely done, there's no lye left, right? It's just considered saponified oils at the end products that you have. So we push our bar shampoos for a couple of reasons. One of the big things about bar shampoos compared to liquid shampoos, and we do have both. I find that bar shampoo is trending in the human sector. Like, you see it more, like, really common in beauty supply stores. People are getting into hair shampoos. The pet section, it takes a little bit for trends to get over. So, like, even bar shampoos are trending in human. It's taking time. A lot of people are, like, a little hesitant about using bar shampoos. But there's three reasons I like the bar shampoos. Like I said, when we make it, we just take our oils and we saponify everything, cut, dry, absolutely no water to it, right? So without water, you don't need preservatives. Without water, it's undiluted. So you have a more concentrated bar. One of our bars, our 4 ounce bars, is equal to 16 ounces of liquid shampoo, because there's absolutely no water in it. So it's a concentrated version. So these are our bars, little round bars. And then when we make liquid shampoos, it's almost the same concept. You take your oils and your vinegar, you saponify everything together. Then it makes a paste. That paste has to be diluted because it's unusable, thick, like a peanut butter consistency. It's diluted into a usable liquid form, and then it is thickened into what you see in products. So you have two problems. One is diluted, right? Because you can't use it. So you have a diluted version of the bar. And then the second thing, when you thicken it, anytime you thicken a liquid, it dulls down the lather. And everybody wants to see a lather. So natural shampoos in general have a very low lather because we don't add a chemical to give it those bubbles that everybody looks for. But in the liquid form, it makes it even less lather. So, like I said, those are two reasons I prefer the bar shampoo. There's a couple other reasons I could talk about too in our bar shampoos, if we don't mind keep
Go
going.
for it. I
Okay.
love it.
So again, in anything you add water to. So I also been doing contract manufacturing for cosmetics. So we have our own factory and everything. There's 8,000 square foot warehouse we have that we make everything from scratch. It's actually on a farm. We have a bee farm there. But we have all this space. We also do contract manufacturing for cosmetics. So I work with a lot of formulators for humans, like human cosmetics. So we'll make lotions, shampoos for other people in the human sector. And working with the formulators, we always talk about preservatives and different ingredients. So anytime you add water to make it safe, especially in the human sector, you always add preservative. Preservatives is like something we do. It's like a necessary evil, right? You pick the best preservative you can, but we don't want preservatives. So in our bar shampoos, we don't have any preservatives because we don't add water. In the liquid shampoos, we have to add water. So you have a diluted version of the bar shampoo. You have to have preservatives. Also, with our bar shampoos, we're a plastic-free company, so being eco-conscious is very important to us. In our bar shampoos, we have just a cardboard box. Our cardboard box is completely compostable. So when you're done with your bar shampoo, you have no waste. The other thing is when we make our shampoo, when we make our bar shampoos, we cut the ends and anything that didn't come out so pretty, like, if one of the bars got dented. And we rebatch everything. We make a new bar, and we actually donate it to our local homeless shelter. We have a couple of food banks that we donate to. Everything we make is human grade. My passion is pets. So even though, like I said, I do manufacture things for other cosmetic companies, I want to be in the pet industry. It's like my absolute passion. So everything's marketed to pets, even though everything's human grade. I personally use all our products. I rotate through everything, even our flea and tick, everything. And it's funny because our flea and tick products, we use a neem oil in it. And a lot of people with skin issues have used our medicated or our neem shampoo, and they said it really helped the acne and the skin issues. So neem is like really big with skin issues, really helping a lot of people. But we donated it to our local home shelter, and it equals about 1 bar for every 5 bar souls donated. So it's like those multiple reasons I really push the bar shampoos. I just really like the bar shampoos, and like I said, we've donated thousands of bars now at this point. So it's just like a nice factor. Every time one of these are sold, we know, we're able to give back to the community.
That's amazing. So you're such an inspiration. I love talking to people that you check every box. You really do. You really do. I'm so proud to know you, and I just think it's awesome.
But yeah, I think it's the pet industry, right? We're all passionate and we just love what we do. It's like,
yeah, you're awesome. Your company's awesome. I usually warn customers when they buy your shampoo. I usually say if it's the liquid, you're not going to see the normal amount of suds because that's a chemical that makes those suds.
Yeah.
So I personally I rinse my hair with apple cider vinegar like every couple of months.
Yeah.
So, and that takes the buildup off. It helps your scalp. It improves the hair follicles. But my hair, and I do straight, like I will pour apple cider vinegar on my head. I have to cover my eye, like I put a washcloth on my forehead so I don't get it in my eyes. And then I let it sit there for a little bit, and then I rinse and then I wash.
Yeah, so
you can't smell it.
Yeah. So that's one of the things about apple cider vinegar, besides it just really killing fungus and everything else, it breaks down hard water minerals, right? So if you don't live in an area where hard water is, you don't understand what hard water does to your hair. But hard water minerals can't break down with natural shampoos. It's like the natural shampoo's enemy. And hard water feels like almost like slimy or make your hair feel hayish. But the vinegar breaks that down and will get rid of it. And that's why you're using the vinegar rinse, and it breaks down everything. So yeah,
I've done it for years.
Yeah, it's
years.
It's great. It breaks down everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And I try to do a shot of it like every day. So
like I said, internally, externally, apple cider vinegar is just like this great thing that you can use all around. And it's so funny going back to like basics, right? Go back to basics, go back to simple science where before we got it, like, science involved in everything, and simple diets, simple things like these work,
Totally.
The other thing with vinegar is like, you've been in the industry long enough. You probably heard the expression, if your dog gets skunked, use tomato juice on them.
Yeah.
Right? And I always wondered, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why would you put a tomato on a dog? And it's the vinegar in the tomato juice. Vinegar actually kills skunk odor. So yeah, it also kills odor. So it breaks down hard water. It kills fungus. It's like this, amazing thing topically and internally that does so many things. And it's just so simple. And
it cures everything but insanity.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Like all these simple things that, before we started getting crazy into actually, all these chemicals and all this extra stuff, going back to basics.
Yeah. And we do need science. We do need progress in this area, many different areas. We need it, but we can't forget the basics. I mean, I remember I started feeding raw food 25 years ago. And when I told my parents, if my parents were alive today, they'd be 100. So they were born during the Depression. So when I told them I was about this raw food and I was going to switch my dog to raw food, it did not faze them one bit.
Yeah. It's right. It was the original diet, right? That's
Yeah,
what dogs ate, and we became like this this kibble, which is it. To me, it's wild that everything thinks that's normal, that's natural. No, the raw diet is actually natural. Even after the raw diet, with convenience, we started with canned food, and we only stopped canned food is because of World War II. We needed the metal, right?
yep,
Kibble is not the real diet. Like we got to go back to what the real diet was, and it's like it's funny telling people like kibble isn't their natural food. Why would you think they need this processed foods?
I
Go
know,
back to just raw meat.
I
Right?
know.
The dogs back in the day, the dogs didn't have allergies, didn't have all these issues, right? They lived forever. They were mutts. You let them out in the street. You didn't give them any flea and tick medicine. You came back at dark, and they were great. Now it's like we have all these access to everything, and our dogs are worse. Our dogs are allergic to like everything, all these issues, and from progress, I guess, right? What we're doing with their kibble and our chemicals, go back to what we started with. They did much better.
100%. My childhood dog lived till she was 18.
Right?
Hmm.
And like you didn't go
Yeah.
to the vet, you didn't do anything, and they ate table food.
She ate table food. My mom worked in a deli. My mom brought her, she ate a lot of lunch meat. She ate canned food only. She did not have any kibble, tons of scraps because we didn't throw anything away.
Yeah,
So Princess got a lot of scrap food. And we never took her to the vet.
yeah.
Never.
And
Like
they
she got hit.
18 years, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like a
Yeah.
miracle if they live to 18, and then we have all
Yeah.
this stuff. But yeah, like I said, I'm really trying to go back to basics, back to what worked. What we really should be doing.
Yep. Yep. And an alternative approach. And we need both. We need the vets and we need them to accept, kind of our open-mindedness, I think. You know what I mean? Like I just think we're just so manipulated by marketing that it
Yeah,
just makes me
yeah,
sick.
yeah. For me, I'm like obviously I have the independent pet store. You have the independent pet store, but I think that's like our core of our industry. Without the independent, I think marketing wins. Right? Your independent pet store, you got your employees, your owners who are doing the research, really trying to find out what's good brands and what we should be doing, and that's where people go for advice. I think that's like the backbone of the industry. We need that. Like I said, that stops the marketing from winning. We're doing our research. We're finding out what works to be able to talk to people who have experience and knowledge in this. And
Yep.
a lot of our vets, our holistic vets are really speaking out and becoming really, really out there and spreading information and telling
Yeah.
people. This, again, the marketing's not going to always win if we have these voices and people talking about these things.
Yeah, yeah. I go to, we have a really great tech school here, and they have a vet tech program for high school students that preps them to go into vet tech school. And then they have a grooming program as well. It's awesome. They do a really great job. And they usually have me come to speak to a class every once in a while. And I usually say to them, I ask them, how did the shampoo industry double its volume overnight? With three words. Nobody ever gets it. When I talk to adults and I say this, somebody usually gets it. Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, I heard that before too. It was so funny. I heard that before too. Yeah,
And we
That's
fucking do it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We do it, right?
Yeah,
Because it
that's it,
says
right? Just do
rinse and
it again.
Ah. So, can you tell my listeners how many different shampoos you have, like
So,
type wise?
yeah,
Let's run through that.
so in the bar shampoo, we have our hypo. So our hypo, what we just did is left it unscented. Some people are a little sensitive to smells, and some dogs sensitive to smells. So that is our base shampoo. All our shampoo is made with coconut olive oil and castor oil. Made in with our apple cider vinegar, and then after that we have different scents. We have our lavender and clary sage. We use clays in each one too. That one has charcoal and bentonite clay. Clays are really good for absorbing toxins. So again, if they have skin issues or odors, that'll help absorb it. We have our charcoal. So our charcoal is charcoal powder. Again, helps absorb any odors, especially if your dog gets skunked. Skunk dogs is a funny thing because not only will apple cider vinegar help kill that, the charcoal will kill that. But one thing you don't want to do when the dog is skunked is immediately rinse them off. People do that, right? They rinse them off with hot water. It'll actually spread the oils all over them. And it also opens up, warm water opens up their pores. The oil starts absorbing into their skin. So you ever notice that a skunk dog gets skunked and you wash them, and every time the dog gets wet, they smell again. Their pores are opening up and the skunk oil is coming back. So you don't do that. So if you could.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if you could just paper towel, get whatever oils you can, and then lather up the soap in your hands. Don't hit the dog with water, and then wash the dog with the soap without water. Lather them all up, and then rinse it off. Because, like I said, the oils, once they start absorbing into the skin or the water hits it, it starts spreading all over them. So, and in certain areas, skunks are a big issue, and the dog's getting skunked, and it's getting all over. But the charcoal will help with that. We have our medicated. So again, our medicated, obviously we don't use the chlorhexidine. The oils I use in the medicated bar is neem oil. Huge fan of neem oil. Like I said, neem oil is just absolutely great for skin issues, a ton of other issues. But in the medicated, we're using it for our skin issues. Then we use niaouli oil. Niaouli is an essential oil similar to tea tree oil without being labeled a hot oil. There's a lot of controversy on tea tree oil. So we use the niaouli, which is still antifungal, antimicrobial. It will kill the fungus. Those are the oils in there. And then we added our bentonite clay. Again, we use clays and everything to help with skin issues. That's our medicated bar. Then we have our conditioning. So again, all our shampoo bars, like I said, same base, but we make it from scratch. We could change the levels of the oils. So every oil, when you make shampoo or soap, has a benefit. Olive oil is super moisturizing oil. Coconut oil, even though we think of it topically as just a very moisturizing oil, when it's saponified, it's one of the most drying oils. It's a very cleansing oil. So the main oil is always going to be olive oil. We want all our bars to be super moisturizing. Then the second oil is the coconut oil, again, to cleanse. And the third oil is castor oil. Castor oil is considered moisturizing, but it's more so for the lather. Castor oil gives those big bubbles that everybody wants to see. So it's more of the visual, even though it's considered moisturizing oil. But those are the three main oils. So in our conditioning bar, what we did is added hemp oil. We wanted to increase the conditioning effects of the shampoo. So we lowered the coconut oil and increased the coconut and the olive oil and the hemp oil in there to change the levels of how conditioning and how cleansing it is. So that's our conditioning. It's really like a 2-in-1 because it's still clean, but it has, like I said, more of the conditioning properties in that particular bar. And then we did the same concept in our moisturizing bar. We did the shea butter to increase the conditioning properties or the moisturizing properties in that bar.
So hemp oil. Is it important to mention there's no CBD in the hemp oil?
Yeah, there's no CBD in the hemp oil. We don't market. I know because there's so many people that use that word hemp in misleading people and pretending there's like CBD properties in it. Hemp is just it's a natural oil, like olive oil. It's a great oil that you could use. But yeah, a lot of misleading people with the hemp. And there's a lot of regulations on hemp. So a lot of times if you see like a hemp marketed product on Amazon can't sell CBD. So there's no CBD in there, So, but yeah, it's mismarketing.
Do you have any opinion on the shampoos that are out there that add CBD?
So I'm a fan of CBD Health, right? I love her products and I know she has the shampoo. I personally, I'm not in the CBD category. So I don't want to talk about like the benefits of it and everything, but I personally didn't want a rinse off product, right? I feel like CBD needs to be absorbed. So I didn't really want to put it in because, like I said, I mean, she could talk about it better about, how it's absorbed. But for me, it just felt like it was rinsed off, So I didn't want to, make a product.
Yeah. And I wasn't, there's multiple companies doing it. So I wasn't calling out anyone in particular because I also huge fan. So
I mean, I talked to her about it. Is that it's like I personally don't want to do something I can't talk intelligently about. Like if I can't explain why or like the benefits, I personally don't want to do it.
I can totally respect that. That's why I have you here to talk about shampoo, because I don't know fucking shit about shampoo. So okay, so let's say a human wants to try your products. Is it going to take a little bit of getting used to, or
So with natural shampoos, because our if you're using it in your hair, the first time you use it is going to feel different. Obviously we're both friends with Judy and Gwen, right? So Gwen, when she first used it, I was like, Gwen, try this, and I love Judy. Judy's like, Janine, I love you, but the bars is weird to me. She's like, I don't get it. I was like, just try it. I promise. So she uses it. I get these texts. Gwen and Judy, they're like, I have these bars.
really?
Yeah, it does feel different though. The first time you use it, it's gonna break down all the buildup that you have. Like I said, the apple cider vinegar is break down that buildup. Right? Like first time you did the rinse, your hair feels different. All of a sudden, it's like a different feeling to it. It would definitely feel different, and your hair does get used to it. But yeah, it's gonna be like a big difference from using synthetics to that. All of a sudden, your hair is gonna feel. She called it squeaky clean, but it breaks down those chemicals and everything that your hair has been used to for a while.
Interesting. So do you think humans will notice a difference how their dogs feel as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like super soft after. Yeah, like you don't. I don't think you need a conditioning bar, but we do have it people who feel like they need it, but your hair feels soft after.
I usually recommend that a dog should not be bathed more than once a month. Is that the same with your shampoo?
No, yeah, that's the old school theory. Is because the shampoos used to
Drying
dry out
out.
the dog, right? So you're
Yeah.
like, you can't. I used to bathe my dog once a week, religiously once a week, and it kept her from being itchy. Her hair was soft. She was perfect, little like princess. And as soon as I passed that week, I noticed, like I said, she's a pit bull, tan and white. They have allergies, and she just grass, dirt, who knows what she was allergic to. But she started getting itchy again as soon as I tried to stretch that a little bit. But if I
Huh.
stayed on that weekly schedule, absolutely perfect. I mean, this dog had, the best diet, the raw diets, eliminated beef, chicken, anything in the house that dog could touch. I made sure was not a chemical. There's no dryer sheets. There's no chemicals in my laundry detergent. I don't wash the floors with any chemicals. Like the house was like made for her, and it was the only way that she was perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect after that. And you're in the industry, you see a lot of bully breeds, especially white or
Yeah.
tan ones. They're just allergic to life. They could be allergic
Yeah.
to me. Who knows?
Yeah.
But she was
It's so
absolutely perfect
sad.
with that. It is,
Yeah.
that's your baby. And you hear people, the worst is like, so obviously the dog's uncomfortable, but then you don't realize that the families, they're like, I can't stand the dog anymore, scratching all night, itching all night in the bed. Like, what I mean? It just disrupts the whole family when your dog's stressed
Yeah.
out or itchy.
Yeah. And they get so frustrated they don't know where
Yeah.
to turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially the vets are just giving him steroids,
Yeah.
Apoquel, things that like, aren't necessarily going to help in the long run.
Right. Exactly. So can we use your products on cats?
Yeah, so there's certain products that are marketed for dogs and cats,
Okay.
especially the unscented ones. But everything we did market, we did put for safe for dogs and cats. There's a lot of controversy with essential oils, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you could Google it and stuff. What we do with our essential oils, everything is less than a 1% dilution ratio. So it's a very safe dilution ratio. Second thing, all of essential oils are the highest grade, highest quality, human grade. They're all steam distilled, tested for purity. There's no real gradings on essential oils. So I don't call them therapeutic grade, right? Because it's not a real grading where other things do have gradings. So we don't call it therapeutic grade because, like I said, there's no real gradings, but it is human grade and tested for purity. Our peppermint is actually food safe, edible. You could ingest it. So like those are the standards we use for our essential oils. And like I said, the 1% dilution ratio is also important across the board. So when anybody asks, because it's like, oh, you hear these things, oh, peppermint oil. Again, I've been in the industry for a long time, work with a lot of vets. I've never heard of a cat going to the vet because it sniffed peppermint oil, personally. So I don't know, but
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's similar to that toxic list that is out there. Avocados and garlic and all
garlic,
of,
right? Garlic. And I
I
mean,
mean,
like, garlic is great. And
yeah.
brewer's yeast was like
Yeah.
the common tablet. It was a garlic-based
Yeah.
tablet. It helps fleas and ticks.
Yeah.
Now, like, dog's gonna die from garlic. Garlic helps, and it's so beneficial to them. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't think it's toxic. It's been around forever. We've been feeding
Yeah.
them brewer's yeast tablets,
Yeah. For real. And I mean, my dogs get a little bit of garlic every day. So I don't know. I don't know what's behind it. I'm
Yeah.
not even going to go down that
Yeah,
rabbit
yeah,
hole.
yeah, yeah. Right. But like I said, I'm a fan of garlic. There's a lot of garlic ingredients in a lot of supplements that help break down the yeast, right, and the bacteria, the
Yeah.
gut bacteria. Has a lot
Yeah.
of benefits.
Yeah. So, okay. So, what products came after shampoo?
So we did our shampoos, and I think one of the hardest things for us was to be plastic free, right? That was the biggest hurdle about everything. So what we did is do 4 ounce concentrates. So our 4 ounce concentrates, there's a couple of benefits to it. It reduced packaging, right? So our 4 ounces, there's no water in it, right? We don't want to sell water. We don't make water. We're not in the water industry. So our 4 ounces, all dilute. We have one bottle. It's one glass reusable bottle. And we actually put the measurements in here. So when you put your 4 ounce in here, you fill it with water, it goes to 12 ounces. So we did our waterless bath. We did a waterless bath. It's like a witch hazel base. So a lot of the waterless baths, like again, like you look at the products, it's like especially the flea and tick products, it always say like 98% inactive ingredients. You bought 98% water. Again, we didn't want to sell water. We didn't want to bottle water. We didn't want to ship water. So all our concentrates are water free. Our waterless baths is a witch hazel based. We wanted to do witch hazel to kill odors and make sure it's not sticky. A lot of waterless baths I find like you spray it on the dog and it's just like diluted soap and the dog's like sticky after. So we did a witch hazel base to make sure the dog wasn't sticky. We did our biter bitters. So because we're using apple cider vinegar, we did a bitter biters for puppy deterrents. Is apple cider
Yeah.
vinegar base, and we used orange bitters in there. Our flea and tick, which we said we'll get into deeper dive into the flea and tick, but that is like super important category, and our hot spot spray. So we did two different hot spots. We did a hot spot spray to cover like a hot spot spray. It's apple cider vinegar base. You can spray the entire body because dogs, again, itchy dogs is such a common problem. So we wanted to spray the spray everywhere because the dog is not necessarily itchy, just one spot. It's just the itchy dog. Apple cider vinegar will kill the yeast and especially in the paw area. But the other problem with hot spots is sometimes they get a hot spot that's an open sore. You can't use the apple cider vinegar to actually burn. So we did a balm, which is a coconut-based balm. Coconut, Malanuka honey, niauli oil, aloe. The balm you can put directly onto an open wound hot spot that they have. So we did the two just because, like I said, in case it's an open sore, you have a salve, and then an itchy body part, we wanted to be able to spray them all over.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to do a whole separate episode on flea and tick. So we'll probably air that. Maybe we'll do August to lead into fall because I feel like ticks are the worst in the
It
fall.
is, right? And it's like the tick problem just keep getting worse between I don't know where you are. I'm in Jersey, and we haven't had like really cold winters that be able to kill off because it just has to stay below freezing for a certain amount of time to kill everything. And then on top of that, we talk about the chemicals we use. They're becoming mutants, right? They're just like immune to the chemicals. The more chemicals we put out there, the more immune to it, and the more prevalent they are, and they're just a bigger and bigger problem every time.
Yeah, yeah. And your product is completely natural. We'll talk about that as an alternative spray to doing any of the chemicals. So the more we can eliminate chemicals, the better off we are. All of us.
Yeah, for so
All of
many
us.
reasons, right? Yeah.
All of us. So then did candles come?
So candles. So we actually started. We did a dish soap first, right? So
Oh,
because
you have a dish soap?
yeah, we have a dish soap. I should have brought one over here. I put it in the other room. So it started with the dish soap. So the same candle tin, we did our dish soap, and it was funny because Judy's the one who wanted the dish soap. Judy's a big fan of My Mind Platter. And she was saying
Hmm.
like everybody wants a natural dish soap because we're all crazy, right? We're
Yeah.
all war feeders, and
Yes.
everything the dog touches, we want to make sure it's safe. So they wanted a safe dish soap for the raw feeders. So we made a dish soap for her, right? And then we had the candle tins because again, for me, I think the packaging is the biggest problem for us. Like it's the biggest hurdle. So as I have the little dish soap tins, I was like, oh, we can make candles with these. So we did a pet safe candle. We did 100% soy base. And then, so a big question, because we do work with essential oils, obviously, everything is essential oils. We do not use essential oils on our candles. So there's three reasons we don't use essential oils in candles. One is the flash point of essential oils. Flash point in essential oils is very low. your candle temperature burning at 140 degrees plus, essential oil flash point a lot of times is lower than that, so it makes it really unsafe. So if you have a candle with essential oil, the whole thing can go up. And it happened to somebody else. They bought an essential oil candle, the whole thing went up in flames. So it's very dangerous. So that's like the main reason. Two, essential oils, when it's burnt, it's not the same as it's just being warmed or diffused. When they're burnt, it changes it chemically, and it actually could be unsafe when you burn essential oils. The third thing, even if you found one with a high flash point that was safe to burn, they don't smell the same. When you burn essential oil, it's completely different than if you diffuse it or you just warm it. They don't smell good. So those are the three reasons that we didn't use essential oils on our candles. So we used a phthalate-free fragrance, right? Because phthalates, which is like a chemical they use in plastic, which is very toxic if you burn. I don't know why it's so common in fragrances. I don't know what it smells like. I don't know like why it's in every fragrance, but it's one of the really bad ingredients in fragrances that you don't want. So we use like a safe fragrance, which is phthalate free, which is safe to burn. And like I said, we use 100% soy. One of the things in candles that I hate, I think it's disgusting, is the paraffin-based candles. If you ever burn a candle, you see the really black soot. That's yeah. It's toxic. It's terrible. It's disgusting and leaves soot in your house. You could either we use a soy base, but you could either use a soy base or a beeswax based candle. Those are the clean burns. There's no soot left. It's actually clean burn to use around yourself or your animals.
Cool. Awesome. I need your dish soap. So, okay, let's talk about, so all of your stuff is in aluminum or glass, or the bars are in cardboard. So, I did jump on your website before we started this call, and I thought that the percentage of plastic that gets recycled was 25, but it's actually only 9.
It's less than 9. They think that's over exaggerated. It's really a big problem. So I forgot what they called it. They have a really good word for it, but it's just marketing, right? They're pretending like, you think you're doing the right thing. You're washing your plastic, putting it in the recycle bin, but most places don't actually have a recycling sensor. They make you put it in the recycling bin, and then they bring it right to the regular dump. It goes in the regular dump. It's less than 10% is actually recycled. Most of it is just put on boats and then burnt in the middle of the ocean. We used to actually pay, yeah, it's really bad. We used to actually pay other countries to take our garbage, our recyclables, but now the other countries, they don't want it anymore. So now it's just like floating in the ocean and we don't know what to do with it. Plastic is a huge problem. Is that it's that false narrative that it's recycled, it's fine. It's not recycled. It's like less than 10% is actually recycled. And it's everywhere. It's in our soil, it's in our blood, it's in our bodies. The microplastic is becoming a problem. Huge problem.
It is.
So
Yeah.
I mean everybody uses plastic because it's cheap, right? It's easier. You can't kill it, you can't break it down, you can't do anything. So it's like this great, as a company, you're like, it's cheap, it's not going to break down over time, it's waterproof. So if you're manufacturing, it's the easy go-to answer. But the reality is it's absolutely terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can't even. I stopped using saran wrap like 20 years ago. I started composting like 30 years ago. And people come to my house and they go to reach for the saran wrap if we're like packing food up and stuff after dinner. And I'm like, I don't use saran wrap. And they're like, why don't you use saran wrap? I'm like, because it's plastic and it's never going to go away and it's bad. I have glass containers that I store all of my food in. I don't use saran wrap.
Yeah. And it leaches, plastic leaches into everything. It's like
it leaches into everything.
Food in plastic.
Yes. Which is why Solutions Pet Food freezes in cardboard and that amazing waxed paper kind of thing that they have.
Exactly. Because when you start deep diving into it, you're like, oh my God, my dog's, you're thinking you're doing the best of the raw, and then it's packaged into plastic. You're like, oh no, this is no good either. Yeah.
Yes. And let's flip back because I wanted to mention something about fragrances. I hate fragrances. I'm super sensitive to all of that kind of stuff, chemical fragrances, everything. So I travel a lot because I have the store in Florida and I'm in the pet industry. So I use Airbnbs. And sometimes I forget to put in the comments to ask the owners to please not use the plugins because the plugins are toxic.
Oh, they're disgusting.
They have formaldehyde in them.
They're disgusting.
It's awful.
And it's like, why? Why is formaldehyde in here? Yeah, I know.
So I walk in this one house and I'm like fucking hit in the face with this fragrance. And it's like I get nauseous from it. Yeah. It makes me sick and I get a headache. So I go on a mad hunt and I pull all these plugins and I put them in the laundry room on the dryer. And I shut the door and I didn't use the laundry. And then I had the homeowner comment and say about me. And she said, Toni was a good guest, but she didn't tell us that she had a sensitivity to chemical fragrances. And apparently one of those plugins was not upright and was turned on its side and leaked onto the dryer. And guess what it did to the dryer?
It ate through it.
It ate right through it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Isn't that disgusting?
Yeah, it's bad. That's bad. That should be a sign.
Like, what more do you need to know?
I know, right? It just ate through metal. Like, maybe you shouldn't use that.
Oh, so that was just one of my tangents. Okay.
I think the more that you detox from that, right? You're away from that, the more sensitive you are, right? You're like, now it's just like, oh my God, this is vile.
Yes,
yeah,
totally. You mentioned you have an 8,000 square foot warehouse. So you manufacture all your own stuff. I'm curious, how many employees do you have?
Right now, 6.
Nice.
6 of us.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think we had to do it. So the two issues with being plastic free or organic, a lot of people, you hear that, they think it's going to be expensive, right? So I wanted to keep the cost down. I didn't want to be the reason you went to like a chemical shampoo or a plastic bottle is cost. And the only way to keep that cost down is manufacturing yourself. Like you got to keep the cost down. You got to, and you pass it to the consumer.
And how many years have you been in business?
This is our 4th or 5th year now.
Oh, awesome.
4th year.
I thought it was longer than that.
Well, I've been independent distributor for a long time. So, yeah.
So did you start like right around COVID?
Yeah, right around COVID. Yeah, made it more difficult. Yeah,
wow.
That's fun.
Okay.
Made it more difficult.
Yeah.
Just trying to make things more difficult. That's all.
Life was so hard. I don't even like to think about it. I do. I like take that part of my life and just kind of erase it. So, okay. So if listeners are interested in trying your products, if they don't already use them, they first should look for their locally owned pet food store, right? Yep. So do you have a store locator on your website? Okay. What's your website?
Project Sudz.
And Sudz is with a Z. So super easy. And I Googled it and it was the first thing that popped up. So store locator, please shop indie. And then what are your social media handles? Same thing? Project Sudz?
Yeah, same thing. Super easy to find.
Super easy. Yeah. Are you on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook? Are you on everything?
Instagram and Facebook, not TikTok.
Yeah.
No.
Same. Okay. Okay. Did I miss anything?
No, I think we covered everything.
Awesome. Like I said, Janine's going to come back. We're going to do a whole flea and tick episode, and it'll be super informative and great. Please support local indie. Please support Project Sudz. She's doing great things. Love, love, love you, Janine. So thanks for joining me. Bye for now.